Hi there, welcome back. It's Friday, start of the weekend, penultimate weekend before Christmas, basically. It's homebrew time, and today I am going to be looking at a new game, in the Walls of Eryx, or Eryx, don't quite know how to pronounce that, and it's by Kevin McGrawty, and it's a 2016 release. Now, the premise of the game is that you are Private Stansfield, and you've managed somehow rather stupidly to get yourself crash landed on Venus, and you have to escape all the various things and beasties and baddies that try to that don't like you being on Venus, basically, and will do their best to kick your ass and kill you, preferably both of them. Now, covered a few homebrew games before. I enjoyed doing them because I like the fact that people want to keep the spectrum alive for eternity, basically. So, going to go straight into the game. Now, the controls for In the Walls of Eryx, or Eryx, are Q, A, O, P, and space. So, fairly straightforward. And here we are. And there you can see there's our little spaceman type person and his freshly crashed spaceship. Now, what you've got to do, you've got a dwindling oxygen supply, as you can see, and you need to go through the levels wherever you find a gem. You need to collect them. There are 6 gems in total, I do believe. And then you have to sort of slowly make your way through the mazes, etc. Now, as you can see, sort of towards the bottom right there is some O2 oxygen, which you are going to need because obviously you are an alien on this planet and you don't breathe whatever the atmosphere on Venus is made of. So you've got to keep an eye on your oxygen gauge, and that gives you a kind of sort of time limit, puts a bit of pressure on you as you go through the game, and so you can't sort of dawdle too long. You've got to sort of work out what you've got to do on each screen fairly sort of promptly. Now, the graphics on it are nice. Here we go, just collecting the O2 there, and you see it's gone up. Now, the graphics on this are really sort of quite nice. They're functional. Nothing spectacular, but they are really nice, well animated, well detailed, and they do their job. Now, you can see the first of the sort of baddies there, that sort of lizard man person who tries to sort of mirror your movements in and around the screen. Now, they are fairly dumb in that they will walk blindly into obstacles and traps that kill them, such as the flame just there. Now, speaking of which, on that previous screen, I collected a flame canister, so I've now got 4 shots of flame that I can fire in order to destroy baddies. But you come across those very, very infrequently. So the best bet is to try and outwit them and outmaneuver them rather than and only use the sort of flame as and when you really, really need to, because you only get the 4 shots, and eventually you'll find yourself ending up on a screen where you really need a shot and you haven't got one, and it sort of lights out, if you know what I mean. Now, I had a lot of fun playing this game. Like I said, the graphics are really nice, functional. There's not much in the way of sound. There's no sort of music to the game at all. And, it could have added a bit of atmosphere, just a little sort of jingly track, etc. But it doesn't kill the game by any stretch of the imagination. The spot effects and sound effects that there are really good. Now, there we see the lizard man just walking blindly into the flame that I dropped. And I'm going to collect the oxygen again. Now, this is basically the crux of the entire game, is going through, trying to collect the gems, trying to defeat each room. There are some nice touches in this. You've got these sort of like invisible sort of segments of the maze as well that you have to sort of work your way around, and they get fairly sort of trickier each time you encounter one. But a really good sort of mechanic, again, sort of makes you think, and with the time limit for your oxygen running out, gives you something that you've got to think about. Now, here is an example of me not being able to work the screen out. So what I eventually did was decide to just take the lizard bloke out, because he becomes a pain in the arse if you just try and go straight up the screen. As you can see, he's impervious to the sort of flying moths. but you're not. So one or the other of them will get you. So I found it best to just take the little green twat out straight away. Voila, like that, and then make my way up the screen. So really, really, really nice little game. I played this for a good couple of hours, just getting the hang and the feel of it. Some good ideas in it, such as this one here, which you appear on the screen in 3 different locations, like doppelgangers, basically. And you know, you've got to sort of. I found it best to marry them all up so that they don't go sort of wandering off into the jaws of oblivion. And again, another sort of invisible maze segment here. Together with Green Lizard Man. This is a bit tougher than the first one, as you can see, but still, you know, it's not so hard that that it's a game killer. It's actually quite easy to work out for me, anyway. And you will enjoy this. There's 2 ways that you can download this, and I'll put links to both of them in the description box below the video. There's the World of Spectrum itself, which is where I downloaded this from, and also from the site called Indie Retro News, who and I'll link to them as well, to their page where they review in the Walls of Eryx. Now, I really, really enjoy playing these homebrew games. And why do I enjoy it? Why do I sort of champion them as much as I do? Well, I would have loved to have been able to write a game either back in the day or even now, but unfortunately my knowledge of computing and computing languages and programming is just, it's non-existent, basically. And I always loved the Spectrum sort of back in the day, and I still love it to this day. And I think, as I've said before in other videos, the fact that people are willing and able to take the times out of their sort of busy schedules and continually deliver quality products that you wouldn't have mind paying a few quid for when they were first released is great. Now, there can't be any money to be made nowadays from the making games for the Spectrum scene, so there must just be a labour of love, and that makes it all the more worthwhile. I like to try and do my best to sort of make sure these things get recognised, as do some other YouTube reviewers, and also sites such as Indie Retro News that I mentioned. They frequently feature homebrew, and not just for the Spectrum games, but other systems as well. And I think, you know, we need to be encouraging people to continue this, because it must be nice for them to know that their work is out there, that it's finding an audience, and that people are actually enjoying it. And any sort of little bits and pieces I can do to help them get that recognition, I'll do, because, you know, it's deserved. You know, these people have got families, jobs, houses to run, bills to pay, you know, lots of other sort of daily troubles and strifes that designing games must have to take a back seat to. So the fact that you know, they managed to put out quality titles like this is you know, deserves thanks and recognition. So where's the channel going? Right, okay. I've been not as active recently. I had some sort of mojo problems. Basically, I think I sort of wore myself out a bit too much. I was a bit over enthusiastic a few months ago and put out video after video after video, and it became a bit sort of tiresome, really, probably just as tiresome for you to watch. And there was also other things going on in the background that sort of hindered producing videos. So I didn't find any enthusiasm for, you know, for doing the videos for quite a while. I am returning to them. I'm starting to enjoy doing it again. But it was getting to be a bit of a chore, and so I sort of decided to take a sort of little break, or at least sort of slow down the output to a sort of much more manageable level. So yeah, that's sort of where we're going at the moment. I appreciate the fact that people like the videos. So I appreciate all the comments that people leave and the suggestions, and the fact that, you know, the channel has grown and found an audience. Like I said on that questions and answers from VR to Real Lord Such, I don't do it for views and subscribers, but at the same time, it is nice to know that the work that you're putting in is appreciated. So by no means have I stopped making ZX Spectrum videos. I will continue to do so. It's just going to be a sort of matter of time. Another thing as well is that my access to the laptop is somewhat diminished at the moment, as my eldest daughter is in her GCSE year, and obviously, you know, her workload is increased, etc. So there's no way that I'm going to sort of hog the laptop as much as I sort of used to in the summer months. Because she needs it. She needs the access to it in order to complete all her projects and tasks and research that she needs. It's quite sort of pressure intensive, some of the stuff that she has to do. So yeah, is all going to continue. There are going to be more videos. There just aren't going to be as many. Although on odd occasions where I can snatch some time away, thank God the decorating's finished. On the odd occasions where I can snatch time away, I will put videos together because I do actually enjoy it. The last few, like I've said, because I've sort of reined back on the amount of stuff I was producing, I've actually sort of, the last ones that I've done, I've actually quite enjoyed doing. So yeah, so it's all coming back to me. Anyway, I really rambled there, didn't I? This was a video about In the Walls of Eryx or Eryx. It's a great little game. Go out and download it. Show Kevin your support for what he's done, what he's produced. He's done this for us as a sort of pet project for himself as well, I presume. And yeah, he deserves as much applause as possible. So bravo, Kevin. It's a great little game. Go out and play it and let him know what you think of it. Okay, that's the end of the video. Sorry about that waffly 3 minutes there, but it needed to be said, really. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend and goodbye.